Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. Caught today for a man allegedly involved in a police pursuit at Rutherford overnight. Patrolling officers say they noticed a silver Isuzu SUV being driven in a suspicious manner on Fairfax Road just before 1:30 this morning and gave chase when the vehicle failed to stop. It's alleged the SUV reached 100 km per hour in a 50 zone before the driver pulled over on Dunkley Street. Police say the 22-year-old driver was in possession of small quantities of cocaine, cannabis and steroids, as well as a knife. He's been refused bail to face court today, charged with driving while disqualified, drug possession, breach of bail and having custody of a knife. It's still not known what caused a fire which destroyed a home at Cessnock yesterday afternoon. More than 20 firefighters were called to the single-level weatherboard cottage on Edith Street just after 4 p.m. A firefighter was assessed by paramedics after suffering a mild electric shock from fallen power lines. No one else was injured in the blaze. Crews were called back 4 times overnight to extinguish reignitions. Lawyers for the man convicted over the Hunter Valley bus crash at Greta will launch an appeal against the severity of his sentence today. Brett Button was handed a 32-year jail term following the crash in June 2023, which claimed 10 lives. The 60-year-old's case is set to be heard in the Court of Criminal Appeal. The implications for democracy following the Whitlam dismissal will be the topic of next week's Newcastle Institute event. In 1975, Gough Whitlam was dismissed by the Governor-General without a vote, a process political scientists argue can still happen today. Emeritus Professor Jenny Hocking wrote Gough Whitlam's biography. She says the former Prime Minister is not as often remembered for his policies.
What a marvellous development that was. It really opened up the tertiary sector for universities, but also for colleges of advanced education, teachers' colleges and so on, for students to be able to study free of charge. And it did mean that so many mature age students, women in particular, returned to tertiary studies.
Muswellbrook Mayor Jeff Drayton says council won't stop fighting to have local creditors paid following the collapse of the Dartbrook mine. The mine's been in receivership since July after failing to pay back a $202 million loan. The receivers confirmed yesterday underground mining operations will be suspended at the site. Local creditors are owed hundreds of thousands of dollars in unpaid invoices. A lawnmower pushing record holder hopes a fun run next month will raise awareness for men's mental health. Carlos Duque won the Guinness World Record for pushing a lawnmower the furthest in 24 hours last year, and he says this year's event will be a run on the athletics ground near number 2 Sports Ground. Carlos says the run next month will be supporting charity Movember.
So this year is not about me or anything in a single particular item. It's more about the community getting together. So it's not 1, 2nd, and 3rd place. We all running together to collect miles and see how far we can travel from Newcastle virtually around the globe.
To NURFM Sport.
Broadmeadows District Park will now feature the Rachel McQuillan Court, named in honour of one of Newcastle's finest tennis players. The former world number 28 won bronze along with Nicole Bradtke at the Barcelona Olympics, as well as making the last 16 at the Australian, French and US Opens. McQuillan told NBN she was overcome with emotion after being delivered the news.
We said, we've got a special honour for you. We're going to name a court in your name. And I thought, oh wow, and I think I just burst into tears.
The New South Wales Country Cockatoos thumped the Tasmania Jack Jumpers 75-12 on Day 2 of the Australian Rugby Shield in Newcastle. The Wildfires development side beat suburban Queensland 17-5, while the New South Wales Country Corellas fell to Queensland Country 24-8 in the women's draw. And Newcastle cricketer Jason Sanger will begin his second Sheffield Shield season with South Australia tomorrow against Victoria at the Adelaide Oval. That's Sport, I'm Will McGrath.
And the winning numbers in Powerball are 11, 14, 15, 23, 26, 28 and 30, and the Powerball is 9. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.